Hey friends, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. Also, welcome to your water element yoga flow. This is the final class for the season of water, and in case you're wondering what on earth I am talking about, well, for the past 3 months, we have explored movements, postures, and classes that all relate to the water element. We have also explored postures and movements that support and strengthen the sacral chakra. So I have linked those classes in the right-hand corner, so feel free to view those classes and join on in. Our intention for our class today is to move like water. So without further ado, let's flow. We begin our practice on our backs. When you are there, walk your feet in towards your body, and then connect the soles of your feet together, allowing your knees to fall open. Walk your heels further away from your body for more space, or towards your body for a deeper stretch. Arms can rest at your sides with the palms facing towards the sky. Soften through your fingertips. Lower body grounds down as you open up through your hips. When you are settled, I invite you to close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose, and then breathe out through your nose. In today's class, we explore the idea of moving like water. How does water move? In previous classes, we have discussed this idea of when water is confronted with an obstacle, such as a rock, it finds a way to move around the obstacle that's in its path. The water goes with the flow, much like how we may navigate through our own life. We will inevitably face obstacles in life. We may have to engage in some problem solving or even think outside the box in order to move around the obstacles. There are times in which we may feel stuck, unsure of what path to take. This can happen to water too, when it becomes stagnant. A structure or even the environment itself can prevent its flow. Consider how the mind, body, and soul feels when it can move freely versus when it feels stuck. Our yoga practice and the tools of yoga can help us flow like water both on and off of the mat, so that way we don't feel trapped or stuck in one place. We are able to drop our rocks and flow freely. Before we get moving, I invite you to take a few deep and nourishing breath cycles. Perhaps use your creative mind here to visualize water rushing up onto the shore on the inhale, and then on the exhale, moving away from the shore. All right, begin to flutter your eyelashes until your eyes open. Place your hands on your thighs and guide your knees back together. Walk your feet so that way they're about hip distance apart, with your knees pointing towards the sky. Arms rest at your sides, palms facing down. On your next breath in, lift your hips towards the sky. Bridge pose. This posture offers such a lovely stretch to the hip flexors. There's an option to stay here or play around with opening your knees off to the side, so coming onto the outer edges of your feet. Feel the work being done in your booty. And then close your knees, coming back to a traditional bridge pose, and then begin to lower your back body to the earth. 2 more rounds. Breathe in to lift. Option to open the knees to the side, and then close. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in to lift. Open. Close. And then on your next breath out, lower on down. Walk your feet to the long edges of your mat. Turn your toes out and your heels point in. Melt your knees over to the right, allowing the soles of your feet to lift away from the earth. Lift your knees back to center and then melt them over to the left side. And then back over to the right, left, right, left, and then back to center. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Place your hands on your hamstrings and then begin to rock and roll the length of your spine as you make your way to a seated position on your mat. Come to a cross-legged seat. Place your hands on your knees and begin to draw circles with your upper body, perhaps considering the fluid movement of water here, exploring some spinal flexion and extension. Maybe even integrate the neck into this movement, looking towards the sky as you move forward and then drawing your chin towards your chest as you round through. Feel free to close your eyes to go inward and notice each movement in the physical body, perhaps even in the emotional body as well. Take your circle in the other direction and keep your breath flowing. Begin to slow it down. Your circles become smaller and smaller until eventually you come back to center, aligning your head over your heart space. Now send your legs out long and on a diagonal. No need to go super duper wide here, and there's also an option to bend at your knees. Flex through your feet, toes point towards the sky. Perhaps you are feeling a generous stretch in the backs of your legs. Fold forward slightly while still maintaining length in your back body. Release your fingertips or palms to the earth out in front of you. I now invite you to find some fluid movement, swaying a little from side to side. Visualizing the movement of water, perhaps at a beach on a windy day. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes as you move. The breath flows freely throughout your body. Eventually, you find exquisite stillness as you open your eyes. Slowly sit up tall through your spine. Bend at your knees and bring your legs in. Cross your ankles and then make your way to all fours. Once you are there, bring your big toes together and walk your knees to the long edges of your mat. Tops of your feet root down into the earth. Wrists are under your shoulders and then a little bit wider than the shoulders. Breathe in to drop your belly, tailbone reaches up, open up through your chest and look forward. On your breath out, begin to round through your spine as you send your sit bones back towards your heels. A little combo of cat pose and then to child's pose. Breathe in to come forward, arching through your back body, just like in cow pose. Breathe out to reach your spine towards the sky, rounding through and then sitting back towards your heels. I now invite you to flow at your own pace, connecting breath to action. Close your eyes once again. Visualize the ebb and flow of water as you move. Our intention for our practice together is to move like water. Therefore, the movement of water can be unpredictable at times, such as during a storm. So I now invite you to break free from this form. This means that you can continue to flow back and forth if you wish, or you can bump your hips from side to side, or perhaps you even explore moving your hips in a circular motion. You can pick up the pace or even exaggerate each movement, moving super slow. Listen to your body, go inward, and flow. All right, let's slow it down and find stillness. Walk your knees under your hips and wrists directly underneath your shoulders. Tuck your tailbone under to find length in your low back. Look down at your mat in this tabletop position. Lift your right knee away from your mat and begin to draw some slow circles with your knee one way and then the other way, nice and slow. Bring your knee back to center and then hug your knee in towards your chest, rounding through your back body, and then step your right foot through. Hands frame your right foot. Walk your left knee back to feel a lovely stretch in the left hip flexor. Press your hips forward, chest shines forward. Loop your shoulders, find length throughout your back body. Breathe in, breathe out. Connect to your center. As you breathe in, lift your torso and reach your hands towards the sky. Look up. Breathe out, open twist to your left. Feel that juicy spinal twist. Breathe in, hands reach up and overhead. Breathe out, open twist to the right. Breathe in to send your hands to the sky. Breathe out to float your hands back down to frame your foot. Plant your palms and then step your right foot back to join your left, tabletop position. Lift and hover your left knee away from the earth and begin to draw those slow circles with your left knee. Feel the movement taking place in your left hip socket. I usually do hip circles in the morning to warm up my hips and to prepare them for movement throughout the day. Now take your circle in the other direction. A kind reminder to keep your breath flowing as we do this action, as there may be a tendency to hold the breath as we focus on the movement. Bring your left knee back to center and then hug your left knee in towards your chest, rounding through your spine, before stepping your left foot through. Hands frame your left foot. Walk your right knee back in space, deepening the stretch in your lower body. Look forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next breath in, reach your hands towards the sky, spread through your fingers as you look up. Breathe out to find a spinal twist to your right. Left arm forward, right arm behind. Breathe in to send your hands to the sky. Breathe out, open twist to your left. Draw your palms back in space to really deepen the stretch in your chest. Breathe in to reach your hands to the sky. Breathe out to float your hands back down to the earth. Plant your palms and then step your left foot back to join your right in tabletop position. Now step your right foot off to the side, out long on your mat. Your right leg is straight, toes point forward, and place your whole foot on the earth. Walk your hands towards your body and then to your hips as you rock your pelvis forward to lift up. Release your right hand to your right thigh. Breathe in to reach your left hand to the sky. Breathe out to reach over towards the right side. Right hand slides down your leg. Roll your shoulder back to open up through your chest. Breathe in. Breathe out to come back the way you came as you plant your left hand, left palm on the earth. Breathe in to reach your right hand to the sky. Breathe out to reach over towards the left side. Breathe into your hips and your side body. Find space between your shoulders and your ears. This may mean coming up onto your left fingertips as well for more space. Breathe in. Breathe out to come back the way you came. Slowly begin to hinge forward at your hips as you release both hands to the ground. Draw your right foot back in, coming back to all fours once again. Step your left foot off to the side. Your whole foot roots down into the earth, toes pointing forward. Walk your hands in and then to your hips. Rock your pelvis forward as you rise up. Release your left hand to your left leg. On your next breath in, sweep your right hand to the sky. Breathe out to reach over to the left side. Breathe in. Breathe out to come back to center, releasing your right palm or fingertips to the earth. Breathe in to send your left hand up and overhead. Breathe out to reach over towards your right side. Roll your shoulder back, chest remains lifted and open. Breathe in. Breathe out to come back the way you came. Begin to fold forward, releasing your hands to the earth, and your left leg comes in. Walk your hands to the long edges of your mat. Curl your toes under. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift your hips to the sky, finding your downward facing dog. Take your dog for a walk by pedaling out your feet. Find stillness. Breathe in through your nose. And now take a cleansing breath out through your mouth. Again, breathe in through your nose. Cleansing breath out through your mouth. Let it all go. Begin to shift onto your tiptoes, rolling through your spine, coming into a high plank pose. Press away from the ground. Begin to slowly roll through your spine, making your way back to a downward facing dog. I invite you to use imagery of water flowing. You can visualize your spine being like a wave. Sometimes closing your eyes can help with this visualization. So keep these waves going at your own pace, moving from down dog to high plank, and then back to down dog, and so on. Wherever you are, make your way back to a downward facing dog. Step or hop your feet to the top edge of your mat, forward fold. I encourage you to bend your knees here. Grab opposite elbows and sway from side to side, finding fluid movement that feels good. Come back to center and release your fingertips to the earth. Breathe in to reach your hands to the sky. Breathe out to bring your hands together and then draw them to your heart space. Bow your head, connecting mind to heart. Take a moment here to reflect upon how you feel. Reflecting upon the attention of moving like water. What does that mean to you as you flow both on and off of your mat? Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift your gaze and then release your hands to your sides. Walk your feet under your hips if they are not already there. Step your right foot back towards the back edge of your mat and pivot on that foot so your toes turn in. Bend into your front knee, aligning your knee over your ankle. Grow tall through your spine as you send your left hand forward, right hand behind. Turn to look past your left fingertips. Warrior 2. Move your upper body forward and back a few times, finding some fluid movement here. Make your way back to center. Breathe in to reach both hands to the sky, straighten through your front leg. Breathe out to bend into your front knee, coming back to a warrior two. 2 more rounds. Breathe in to reach, straighten through your front leg. Breathe out to a warrior two. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release the top of your left forearm to your left thigh. Breathe in to reach your right hand to the sky. Look up. Breathe out to reach your right hand towards the top edge of your mat, moving like water. Breathe in, hand to the sky. Breathe out to reach forward. 1 more round. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Breathe in to send your hand to the sky once again, and then breathe out to find your warrior two. Lower your hands to your hips, and then straighten through your front leg. Turn your left toes in, right toes remain turned in, legs remain wide. Breathe in to stand tall and draw your elbows back in space. Feel the spaciousness in your chest. And then as you breathe out, begin to hinge forward at your hips, folding forward, stopping at the halfway point. Draw your belly button towards your spine. There's an option to stay here with your hands on your hips, or you can release your hands to the earth. Press into the outer edges of your feet and also your heels. Find a small bend in your knees. You can always widen your stance or even just walk your feet in as we venture into the standing wide-legged forward fold. So continue to fold forward, releasing the crown of your head towards the earth. You can either release your hands to the ground or grab opposite elbows and sway from side to side. Feel that sweet and gentle release in your low back. Soften through your neck and the back body as you flow like water. Eventually, find stillness. Place your hands on the earth, walking your hands so that way they are stacked under your shoulders. Press away from the earth, finding a flat back position. Now bring your hands to your waistline as you rock your pelvis forward, and this action helps you rise up. Now turn your right toes to face what is now the front edge of your mat. Your left toes turn in. Breathe in. Breathe out to open up to a warrior two. Right knee is in line with your ankle. Turn your head so that way you are looking past your right fingertips. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can find a little fluidity here by moving your upper body forward and back a few times. Wonderful. Come back to center, finding stillness. Now let's flow. On your next breath in, reach your hands towards the sky, straighten through your right leg. Breathe out to a warrior two. Breathe in, hands to the sky. Breathe out, warrior two. 1 more round. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now release the top of your right forearm to the top of your right thigh. Breathe in to send your left hand to the sky. Follow your hand as you look up. And then breathe out to reach your right hand towards the top edge of your mat. Breathe in, hand to the sky. Breathe out, forward. Breathe in to reach. Breathe out to send your left hand forward. Breathe in to once again send your hand to the sky. And then breathe out to make your way back to a warrior two. Place your hands on your hips, straighten through your right leg, turn your right toes in, and then find a little bouncing action with your knees as you hop your feet back together. Breathe in to send both hands to the sky. Breathe out to lead with your heart and fold. Breathe in to find a halfway lift, hands on your shins or your thighs, and then breathe out to fold. Plant your palms and then step or hop both feet back, finding a high plank pose. Breathe in. Breathe out to lower onto your knees. Stay on your knees for this next movement. However, if this is not jiving with you, you can always come to a cross-legged seat. Place your hands on your thighs or on your knees. Breathe in to reach your chest forward, loop your shoulders, draw your chin up towards the sky, just like in cow pose. Breathe out to round through your spine, belly button hugs in, draw your chin towards your chest, just like in cat pose. Let's do a few more rounds. Continue this action, moving at a pace that feels good for you. Marry the breath to the action. And once again, consider our intention of moving like water. What does this look like to you? I like to visualize that my spine has transformed into a wave. Perhaps you see this fluid movement like ripples in a pond, or perhaps this movement is a little bit more turbulent, just like the quality of water during a storm. You decide how to flow. Slow down your flow as you eventually make your way back to center. Let's transition to all fours. Big toes meet as you walk your knees to the long edges of your mat. Hands actively reach forward. Breathe in. Breathe out to melt your heart center towards the earth, releasing your chest, forearms, and forehead either to or towards the earth. Can you feel that stretch in your hips, quads, back body, shoulders? I invite you to find a little sway in your hips to help deepen the stretch and to perhaps open up through the hips a little bit more. Lift your head slightly and begin to walk both hands to the right side. Once you feel a lovely stretch in your left side body, place your left hand on top of your right hand. Release your forehead on the earth once again. Breathe here. Maybe you find some organic movement, or perhaps you explore stillness, visualizing a pond of water that is still, unmoving, and calm. Wonderful. Let's take it over to the left side. Take your time. And once you are there, place your right hand over your left hand and breathe deep and nourishing breath cycles. Gorgeous. Make your way back to center. Breathe in. Breathe out to press your palms into the earth to help you rise up. Walk your knees under your hips and then swing your legs off to one side. Make your way to a seat of your choosing. Once you are there, I invite you to find any movement that would feel awesome for you today. So this could be some spinal twists. This could be interlacing your fingers and then pushing your palms forward and then towards the sky to find some side body stretches. Listen to your body and respond as you flow. All right, find stillness. Slowly draw your hands together and then to your heart space. Draw your chin towards your chest. Take a long and slow breath in through your nose. And then a slow breath out through your nose. It is my hope that this water element yoga flow served you well. Like the video, share this practice with others, and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. It is also a great way to support the Yoga with Rachel channel. Sending lots of love your way. Together we say, Namaste.